Hi, my name's Syverson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm 18 years old. I live in Ashland, Wisconsin, and I'm the YCAT city lead for the Chequamegon Bay area. Basically what I do as city lead is organize people in my area to get involved with YCAT and participate in the statewide activities like the Global Climate Strike. We also lead weekly Fridays for Future strikes, and we're doing a lot of outreach right now to try to get people from other small towns in our area involved. I've been an activist who's passionate about social and environmental justice my whole life. But until now, I always thought that the climate crisis was a problem that was too big to handle. That is, until I learned about Greta Thunberg and the Fridays for Future movement. I joined YCAT in the summer of 2019 after I reached out to them on social media when I decided to help organize both weekly school strikes with the Fridays for Future movement and a march and rally for the Global Climate Strike on September 20th. The Global Climate Strike on September 20th brought me a lot of joy. Here in Ashland, we had a march and a rally, and at the rally we had a lot of really powerful youth speakers. All of our speakers were youth, and it was really cool to me to see some people that I had never really seen in an activist role before, in a leadership role, stepping up to speak truth to power and to share their thoughts on the climate crisis. And for some of them, that was their first time public speaking. For some of them, that was their first time learning about climate change. For some of them, that was their first time they'd ever been at a strike or a rally or been involved in any sort of activism. So that was really powerful for me to see them getting involved. When I think about the effects of climate change in my area, I think about Lake Superior. Lake Superior is where we get all of our drinking water, and it's a really important part of the place I live. And I have this one story about Lake Superior I like to tell because when it rains and when there's a big storm, a clay runoff runs into the Chequamegon Bay and it turns the whole bay red. And it's a little bit unnerving, but we're used to it, and it usually only lasts a couple of days. There was a time where I had been gone for several months, and I came home to Lake Superior, and the Chequamegon Bay was red, and I asked my parents how long it had been like this, and they told me it had been weeks, and I was just so shocked to hear this because only a few months prior, I had written a short story that was science fiction, took place in a post-apocalyptic world where there had been really extreme environmental damage, and one of the things I wrote about was our lake being red just constantly. Because of all of the runoff and erosion. And so when I came home to see that the lake was red for weeks on end, like it never had been before that I could ever remember or that my parents could ever remember, it just brought me to thinking about that post-apocalyptic world of extreme environmental damage, and it made me really scared. It is important that everyone care about climate change because this isn't just an environmental issue, this is a justice issue, and not all people will be affected evenly. When I fight for climate justice, I'm not just fighting for myself, I'm fighting for the people who will be even more affected by the most devastating impacts of the climate crisis as I will. I'm talking about people of color and low-income people, people who live in coastal regions or areas of the world that will be more affected by climate change, and young people and people who are not yet born. And that's why it's important to me that we are not all in this just for ourselves and our own futures, but for the futures of everyone else around us. Being part of YCAT has been incredible for me. It's also been really exhausting. It's a lot of work to be an organizer, and learning how to balance that work, with also my schoolwork and also my personal life has been really challenging, but in a really amazing way. And I love working with a team of people who's also passionate and dedicated and really smart and caring and compassionate, and has been able to offer me a lot of guidance and support and resources. And I've really been able to grow as an activist and as a person through working with this organization.